Hey, what's going on everybody? Steve Rakin here. I've been selling on Amazon for about 10 years. In the last year alone, I've sold over $700,000 in total revenue for over 6 figures in profit. And in this video, I want to share 11 things that will get you in serious trouble selling on Amazon. Amazon's great, especially if you're doing FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. You could really leverage your time, leverage the fulfillment centers, the pick, pack, and ship. And you could really turn this business into something, I hate to say it, it sounds corny, like semi-passive, because I literally only spend about 5 hours per week on my business using virtual assistants, using a prep center, and utilizing FBA. But there are rules that you have to follow, and there's things that could get you in trouble. There's probably like 50 plus things, but I want to share, 11 things that are at the top of my mind. I actually put a post out in my eBay to Amazon masterclass group, kind of polling people about the things that concern them most that could get beginners in trouble that folks might not think about, but they could get you in trouble. And I really want to break it down in this video, okay? So number one, and in no particular order, is shipping boxes to FBA over 50 pounds, okay? Unless it's a set. Like if you have a set of, 50 books and it's part of a set, like an encyclopedia, you can do that. There's a certain process you have to follow. But in general, when you send boxes to Amazon FBA, you want to keep them under 50 pounds, okay? So under 50 pounds, it'll keep you out of trouble. Number two, forgetting to ship MF orders on time. So MF stands for Merchant Fulfilled. FBA is fulfilled by Amazon. The difference is MF, you store everything at your house, you pick your own inventory, you deal with your own customer service. There's pros and cons to doing MF versus FBA. But one of the downsides to MF is you really got to be on point with shipping your items on time. If your defect rates get too high, if you ship too late, you're going to be kicked off of Amazon before you know it. So if you're going to merchant fulfill products, for various reasons, maybe to increase your cash flow, to be able to prevent scams, so on and so forth, to be able to charge restocking fees, you've got to make sure that you ship your items out on time. Number three, selling textbooks without running the books through Book Run counterfeit calculator. So there's a website, booksrun.com/counterfeit/calculator. And essentially what you can do is you can put an ISBN number into this website, and it'll help you to find the probability of the book being counterfeit, okay? If it comes back as probable or very likely or likely of being counterfeit, I just will not sell that item. So if you're gonna be selling textbooks, if you're approved to sell textbooks, and a lot of new sellers, they'll be restricted in a lot of them, and there's really not much you can do. If you're gated, you wanna make sure to run those books through Book Run counterfeit calculator to make sure that you're not selling counterfeits. There's a lot of sharks in the water. Literally, there's people getting sued by law firms, and there's just a lot of issues. I'm not here to create fear, but the reality is there's a lot of sharks in the water selling textbooks, and you have to be careful. The fourth thing that could get you in serious trouble selling on Amazon, and you might not know this if you're a new seller, is IP complaints, okay? So an IP complaint is an intellectual property complaint. Now, you may be able to sell an item. You might pick up your phone, scan an item, and you notice that you're not restricted, you're not gated, you're allowed to sell it. Well, does that mean you'll never get in trouble? Absolutely not. It's crazy. I feel like it should be illegal on Amazon. But essentially, there are brands that will come after you and they'll threaten to sue you, they'll kick you off the listings, they'll give you what's known as an IP complaint, which hurts your account health severely on Amazon. You've got to make sure that when you're selling products, number one, you want to make sure there's no sharp declines in the number of sellers. If you look on Keepa, so if there's 10 sellers on a listing and then the next day there's one, that's a red flag. If the brand is on the listing, that's a red flag. It's a higher chance of getting an IP complaint. There's actually a software called IP Alert, which I highly recommend. I'll put a link down below, rakinprofit.com/IP Alert, which will actually notify you before you list an item if you land on the sales page if there's a high risk of getting an IP complaint. Highly recommend it. Chris Grant created it, amazing guy. Cleartheshelf.com is his website, but definitely check it out, rakinprofit.com/IP Alert, to make sure you don't get hit with IP complaints and you keep your account safe. The fifth thing that could definitely get you in trouble and hurt your selling metrics and your account health, not responding to customer messages in 24 hours or less, okay? So this doesn't matter if you're a merchant fulfilled seller or FBA. Even though FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, deals with most of the customer service, for some reason or another, sometimes Amazon will push a question towards you, and you're gonna have to answer it within 24 hours or less, or click the button that says no response needed. But if you don't respond and it goes over 24 hours, that hurts your metrics, and that could get you in serious trouble long term if you do that enough times. Number 6, and this somewhat pertains to number 5, but it's failing to check your account health tab. So what you need to make sure you do every single day when you're selling on Amazon is to go into Amazon Seller Central and go into your account health tab, your performance notifications, your account health, to make sure you're not getting any counterfeit claims, to make sure you're not getting IP complaints, to be able to check out all of your metrics. If you start having negative metrics hit your account, your days are numbered, especially if you have a newer account and you don't have a lot of selling history. You're not going to be able to take a lot of impact of negative things. So you have to make sure each and every day that you check your account health. It's very, very important. Number 7, a big mistake could get you in serious trouble is shipping the wrong quantity of a product to Amazon, okay? So Amazon tracks all of this, and say for example, you ship them 5 items, but you told them that you're gonna ship them 7, you made a mistake, you hit the wrong number, this can hurt you. Now you're probably not gonna get kicked off immediately doing this, but this is something that can definitely hurt your account. And again, if you go into your metrics, your account health, there is a metric that tracks your shipping. So you wanna make sure you're shipping in the correct amount of quantity. And when you're listing your items, you really need to make sure that you're sending them the correct amount of quantity. I know sometimes you're flying through, you wanna get stuff shipped out, listed, I get it, but you've gotta take your time because this could definitely hurt you. Mistake number 8, and this is very common. I don't know if I've heard of anybody ever getting in trouble with this, but I've heard rumors of people getting kicked off. I don't know how true it is, but this is something I've always been very paranoid about. And that's leaving barcodes exposed on items and leaving previous shipping labels / barcodes on boxes. So if you're gonna send them a box, and you put your 2 little labels on UPS to ship it to them, make sure you don't have another label on it, right? That could mess up UPS, that might mess up Amazon when they scan it. When you're listing your products and you're putting the FNSKUs onto the products, which are the identifiers for Amazon to scan in, cover the old barcode. If you have multiple barcodes, what I typically do is take one of the little FNSKUs from the Rolo printer and cover it up over any other barcodes. You just don't want to confuse any of the workers at the warehouse, and they might scan the wrong barcode. It could go stranded. You never know what could happen. So definitely make sure you don't leave any barcodes exposed. Pull off old barcodes, hide them, cover them up, and make sure the only barcodes on the products are the FNSKU for the product, and on the box, the 2 shipping labels going to Amazon. Mistake number 9, and this is one of the common mistakes that I hear of new sellers making, or at least asking questions either inside of our Reselling Freedom community or the masterclass, is, hey, Steve, I'm shipping out items to FBA. Can I use packing peanuts? The answer is no, Amazon does not like that. Steve, can I use newspaper? No, Amazon does not like that because the ink could smear on the product. So when you're shipping, don't use any newspaper and don't use any packing peanuts, okay? You could use the little bubble fill and the little, Amazon, they'll ship you stuff and they have like the big bubble stuff, whatever. It's not the little ones, it's like the big pouches. You can use those all day long. You could certainly use like the craft paper and whatnot, but you wanna stay away from newspaper and you wanna stay away from the foam packing peanuts. Number 10. Shipping in expired products or products that have less than 4 months left until expiration, okay? I don't sell a lot of grocery, I don't sell a lot of products with expiration, but I know that I want it 5, 6 months out. I don't wanna send items to Amazon that are less than 4 months. You've got to be careful. You could get in big trouble for obvious reasons. So make sure if items have expiration dates, even like ink and toner, be very careful with stuff like that. Obviously grocery, but shipping in expired products or products with less than 4 months could get you in big trouble. Last but not least, number 11. I know I'm probably scaring the crap out of you guys, but I'm just trying to be real about some of the things to avoid, is sending in items that aren't exact matches. So this can be the wrong size of a product, the wrong color, the wrong flavor, the wrong quantity, the wrong multi-pack. You've got to be very careful, and you've got to understand that each listing is going to have an ASIN on Amazon. That's the identifier for the product to the actual listing. It has to be correct, and certain products are going to have variations. So you really have to make sure, and I talked about this in a previous video, you have to crawl before you walk, you got to walk before you run, you got to run before you sprint. Take your time. It might not be best to jump right into a prep center or jump into multi-packs or jump into dealing with all these variations. And if you're not 100% sure about the product that you have matches to the exact ASIN, don't sell it. I'm telling you right now, this will lead to massive amounts of returns, order defects, issues on your account, and you've got to be very careful. Amazon's a powerful platform. You can make a lot of money. I've made a lot of money over the years, but you have to understand, I've been doing this for 10 plus years. I've made a lot of these mistakes. Luckily, I'm still here to talk about it, but take things slow. Crawl before you walk, walk before you run. Take your time. Hopefully this video helped. Drop some comments down below. Is there anything I missed? I know there's a lot I missed, but is there anything obvious that you'd recommend to help others who are new? Would love to hear your feedback. Hey, if you guys enjoyed this video, check out my membership site called resellingfreedom.com. I'm in there plus 10 other expert Amazon coaches talking about eBay to Amazon, thrifting, retail arbitrage. We have online arbitrage experts. We talk about wholesale. If you want to learn how to start, scale, or take your Amazon business to the next level, check out resellingfreedom.com. It's a low monthly membership price. You could cancel anytime. We have Zoom calls almost every single day. We have courses, we have workshops, we have downloads, we have a community. I'm telling you right now, don't go out there and spend $5,000, $10,000 on a course. Start on a small budget, learn the basics, slowly grow. That's what resellingfreedom.com is there for. We're here to help you with real coaches. So with that being said, appreciate you guys watching. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.